Hello, my name is Darren Thomas and I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this particular video, we're going to be looking at the glue package and in particular the glue function, which has a lot to do with, regular expressions and dealing with text inside R. So let's go ahead and see what we can learn. So we're inside RStudio and we're just going to load our packages first. We're going to be using two of them. We're going to be focusing heavily on line 1 here, that's the glue package, but we're going to need a little bit of help from the dplyr package when we get to that point in this video. So the glue package is kind of an upgrade over things associated with the paste function. So we're going to go ahead and set up our paste function first here, and I have an example for you. So this is going to be in lines 3 and 4. So what we're doing here in line 3 is we're just saving the string Dan to a vector, or you can call it an object called people. And then we're going to paste the word hello with our little object here, people. So you'll see the output in the console in the lower left-hand side. So nice and simple here. You can see it says here, hello Dan. Done. Not that complicated. And this is something that I'm sure most of us are familiar with. Glue provides us with a slightly different way of approaching this, which opens up way more possibilities as well. So here's the same code with the glue function. So you can see I have glue here in line 6. I have my phrase here, hello, but inside these curly braces, while also being inside the quotation marks, I have my object people. And so what's going to happen is that this is going to spit out hello Dan, just like previously. And so you can see it in the output down below. Now there's some differences here. We don't have this one here off to the side, which kind of makes it look like a list almost. And we're also missing the quotation marks in our glue friend here down below. But you can see that this is another way that you can paste things together rather quickly. Next, we're going to look at how you can include multiple strings in this. So what I'm going to do here is show you what's going on. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm making my people object again, and I'm also in line 9 making a second people object, if you will. And so notice inside my glue function, I have my first object here, and then I have my second object here. So you can put as many objects as you want inside the quotation marks here, as you can see, and get the results that you're looking for. So let me just go ahead and run this for you, and you can see right there we have hello Dan and Daryl, because we have the word and in between. I forgot to point that out. And we have the word hello at the beginning. So, it's up to your imagination how you want to use this. Now, we're also going to show you how you can replace things. This is also another really cool technique. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be using the ideal of multiple strings again, but we're going to have a particular rule for dealing with them. So watch this. So we're going to start here right in line 12. I'm making my object Dan again. I probably don't need to do that, but I'm just trying to be thorough here and show you all the steps for each example. Then for people number 2, it's going to be NA. So nothing's going to be inside it. Now for our glue, we still have the word hi here. Our first object called people, then our second object called people2. But notice this down here in line 16. We have a little .na, so that means wherever a value has na, replace it with what. So we're going to go ahead and run all of this together at the same time. And so if you look at the output down below, you can clearly see it says hi Dan and what, because we are replacing all nas with the word what. And so that is how you can replace values quickly. And we all know how common missing values are when dealing with data. Now we're going to take a look at something that involves temporary variables. This is a really cool tool that you can use with the glue function and the glue package. So if you look at line 18 and 19, I still have my object people, which is just the string Dan, but then I also have this other variable here called height. However, if you're looking at my code, you can see I did not define height before I called it. However, inside the parentheses in line 19, you can see I clearly define height as 175. So don't forget the comma right here after my quotation marks. So what's going to happen is that when we run this, it's going to replace this object height here with this temporary variable of 175. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And you can see down here in the console, it spits out that Dan is 175 centimeters tall. So Dan comes from my object people. Height comes from my temporary variable here, 175 basically. And then CM tall with the period is just part of the string. So again, you can see the potential of using this particular function when you're dealing with a lot of text, when you want to do things quickly, and how all these things can kind of work together based on your creativity. Another really cool thing about this particular package and this function in particular, glue, is that you can actually do calculations inside the actual string that you're trying to create or modify. So let me show you what that looks like. All right, so here I have a phrase here, the average number is, and then inside the curly braces, I'm using the mean function along with the concatenate function or the C function to calculate the mean of these 4 numbers. And so everything is inside the string all at once. So you could, I don't know how complex the R code can be inside the curly braces, but you can see that you could do a lot of really cool things with this. So if I press Control Enter, you can see it calculates my mean right here. The average mean is 3.5. So this is a really, really great shortcut when you are trying to, do something that involves text per se, along with some sort of a calculation. All right. So now for our final trick, we're going to show you how this can work with data frames as well. So here we go, starting in line 23. So what's happening right here is in line 23, I'm just making a data frame with a column, a single column called column_1 with our string Dan. That's all I'm doing. So, and then you can see it right here. This is what it looks like. Nothing fancy, nothing to brag about. Now in line 25, what we're going to do is this. We're going to use the mutate function to create a new column called new_column. And we're going to use the glue function, and it's going to say hi, and it's going to take whatever in column 1 and kind of stitch those two things together. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And so now you can see I have my column 1. This is from my original process. Then I have my new column called new_column, and I have pasted together hi Dan. I've taken the data from column 1 and added hi in front of it. So you can see this is a great way where you can manipulate large amounts of text data for whatever particular purpose you may have. And that's really the power behind this. So let's see if we can summarize what we looked at and wrap up this video. So in this video, we looked at how you can use the glue function to maybe go one step beyond what the paste function is able to do. We looked at how you can put strings and add strings to text through variables with curly braces. You can include multiple strings. You can replace values depending on their NA. I'm sure there's other ways to do it. This is just an introductory video. We've also looked at the use of temporary variables and how you can include those inside the function as arguments for whatever your purpose may be. We also looked at how you can calculate values inside the string or inside the glue function based on whatever your purpose is. And lastly, I showed you how you can use the glue function in combination with manipulating data with data frames. So I want to thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Darren Thomas. I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. You take care and have a good day.